fractions.
There are 2 bits to every fraction. The top one is numerator, which is 3, and the bottom one is denominator, which is 4, which make up the fraction.
The rules for multiplying fractions. First, multiply the top of the first fraction by the top of the second fraction. Then, multiply the bottom of the first fraction by the bottom of the second fraction.
Examples. First example is 1 over 2 times 3 over 4, which gives me 3 over 8. The way I did it was 1 times 3 gives me 3, 2 times 4 gives me 8. Second example is 4 over 5 times 2 over 3, which gives me 8 over 15. 4 times 2 gives me 8, and 5 times 3 gives me 15, and that's how I got my answers. This is the exercise you have to solve for multiplication. Now, pause the video to do your answers, and then run it again to make sure that your answers are correct like on the video. These are the solvings for this exercise.
The rules for dividing fractions. First, flip the second fraction upside down. Then, change the division symbol to times symbol. Lastly, multiply the equation as you would do for multiplying fractions.
Examples. The first example is 1 over 3 divided by 4 over 5. The way I received my answer was I placed 1 over 3 to this side, and 4 over 5 I flipped it upside down to give me 5 over 4. Then I times 1 by 5 to give me 5, and 3 by 4 to give me 12. The second example is 5 over 1 divided by 2 over 3, which gave me 15 over 2. And the way I did this was I placed 5 over 1 onto this side, and 2 over 3 I flipped upside down to give me 3 over 2. Then I did 5 times 3 to give me 15, and 1 times 2 to give me 2. And this is how I did the division. This is the exercise you have to solve for division. Now, pause the video to do your answers, and then run it again to make sure that your answers are correct, like on the video. These are the answers for the division exercise.
The rules for adding fractions with same denominator. Add both top numerators together and leave both of the bottom denominators as it is.
Examples. The first example is 5 over 11 plus 2 over 11, which gave me 7 over 11. 5 plus 2 gave me 7, and because the both denominators are both 11, I didn't have to do anything to the denominator, but just copy it out. The second example is 8 over 13 plus 4 over 13, which gave me 12 over 13. 8 plus 4 gives me 12, and also because the two denominators are both the same, and I don't have to do anything to them, I just copy out the denominator. This is the exercise you have to solve for adding same denominators. Now, pause the video to do your answers, and then run it again to make sure that your answers are correct like on the video. These are the solvings for this exercise.
The rules for subtracting fractions with same denominator. Subtract both top numerators from each other and leave both of the bottom denominators as it is.
Examples. The first example is 8 over 14 minus 5 over 14, which gave me 3 over 14. 8 minus 5 gives me 3, and because both denominators are 14, gives me 14, which I can just copy it out. Example number 2 is 6 over 9 minus 4 over 9, which gave me 2 over 9. 6 minus 4 gives me 2, and then because both denominators are 9, I can just copy out the 9 again. This is the exercise you have to solve for subtracting same denominators. Now, pause the video to do your answers and then run it again to make sure that your answers are correct, like on the video. These are the solvings for this exercise.
The rules for subtracting fractions with different denominator. Times both fractions by the opposite denominators. Once fractions have been multiplied, then write out the new fraction. Lastly, subtract both top numerators from each other and leave both of the bottom denominators as it is.
Examples. The first example is 3 over 4 minus 2 over 3, which gives me in the end 1 over 12. And the way you have to do this is do the first fraction, the 4 denominator, times the second fraction by that 4, and from the second fraction, the 3, put it here, and times the first fraction by that 3. So 3 times 3 equals 9, 3 times 4 gives you 12, and then from the second fraction, 4 times 2 gives you 8, 4 times 3 gives you 12, and then 9 minus 8 gives you 1. 12 and 12 is the same denominator, so we just place it here, and that's how it gives you 1 over 12. For the second question, 4 over 6 minus 3 over 5 gives you 2 over 30. And the way you have to do this is, the first fraction for the denominator 6, you put it here and you times the whole by 6. For this fraction, you do 3 over 5. The 5 denominator, you put it here and you times the whole first fraction by that 5. 5 times 4 gives you 20. 5 times 6 gives you 30. 6 times 3 gives you 18. 6 times 5 gives you 30. When you have this, you do 20 minus 18, which gives you 2. 30 and 30 are the same denominators, which gives you 30 again, which gives you, in the end, gives you the whole 2 by 30 for your answer. This is the exercise you have to solve for subtracting different denominators. Now, pause the video to do your answers, and then run it again to make sure that your answers are correct, like on the video. These are the solvings for this exercise.
The rules for adding fractions with different denominator. Multiply the first fraction by a number that will make both denominators of both fractions the same. If both fractions don't have the same denominators, then you must multiply both fractions by two different numbers. Add top numerators together and leave bottom denominators the same.
Examples. The first example is 1 over 4 plus 3 over 8, which gave me 5 over 8. Because the denominators are different, I had to find some way to get them the same, and I've noticed that 2 times 4 would give me 8, which make the whole thing easier. So the first fraction, I did 2 times 1, which gave me 2, 2 times 4, which gave me 8, and then I just copied out the fraction over here, the second one. 2 plus 3 is 5, and then I just copied out denominator, because it's the same. For the second fraction, I did 2 over 3, which is, add 3 over 5, which is 19 over 15. Because here, I thought about it, and I found out that 5 from this fraction, and 3 from this fraction could give me the both to the same denominators. So 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15, and then for this one, 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 5 is 15. 10 plus 9 is 19, 15 and 15 is the same, so I just copy it out, and this is how you do the same, the adding for the different denominators. This is the exercise you have to solve for subtracting different denominators. Now, pause the video to do your answers and then run it again to make sure that your answers are correct like on the video. These are the solvings for this exercise.